All right, but next let's kick it on down to Tuscaloosa, where Alabama, damn near 50-point favorite here against Southern Miss. Going to be a whooping down there in T-Town. We all know that. But I really wanted to talk about Alabama not because of the matchup, but again, because of what Florida's offense did to them. I mean, they had to have known all day long that Florida was going to run the ball on them, and they couldn't stop it. I know Florida's got the number one rushing attack in the country, so, let's not overreact here and say Alabama can't stop anybody. I mean, they really struggled to stop the nation's best rushing team, but it's troubling because Florida didn't have much of a downfield passing. I mean, they virtually have no passing threat when it comes against these elite teams. Jacob Copeland, their number one receiver, had one catch for 10 yards in the game. Emory Jones, he's a great runner, but still a work in progress as a passer, and I thought that showed in the game. I mean, he had the game of his career, no doubt. I'm not saying they lost it because of Emory Jones. I think they lost the game because Alabama went up 21-3, and it was just too big of a hole to climb out of. But Florida damn near almost did it with that rushing attack. They had two guys get close to 100 yards rushing, and this I think is great news for the rest of the SEC because I think it shows that Alabama maybe not everything it's cracked up to be. Now, again, we're not hitting the panic alert. Hell, Alabama's still number one in the country, still undefeated. They've got, 7 SEC games remaining. They're going to be favored in all 7. Shocker. I mean, there's at no point is Alabama going to be an underdog this season. So, not saying that Alabama can't win the West, certainly. That would be a ridiculous statement to make. But I think it just opens it up, particularly with these teams with a running quarterback. Ole Miss, Matt Corral, he just scored 4 touchdowns. I know he's not, the most mobile guy, but he can run around a little bit. We'll see if Haynes King for Texas A&M's back. If he is, you got to think maybe he gets a run here against Alabama after what we saw Emory Jones do to him. Hendon Hooker, possibly for Tennessee. Bo Nix. I mean, go on and on and on. There's going to be a lot of versatile quarterbacks and a lot of teams that love to run the ball that Alabama still has to face as the season goes down here. And I don't know. I just think, just talking to a lot of people, this Alabama nearly losing on the road, looking mortal to Florida. The defense, they were hyping up this defense as it was going to be the greatest defense under Nick Saban. Combine that with this new age offense they got. This machine is just getting stronger. And, hey, I tried to warn everybody. Georgia, Texas A&M, I thought they were better defenses, and I think that's played out to this point. So let's kick it over to Nick Saban, who talks about his team's issues defensively and really struggling to stop the speed option there of the Florida Gators.
Yeah, when you went back to look at the film, did you see any consistent or schematic issues with the defense that led to the issues in the final, 3 quarters of the game?
Well, we didn't execute. I think maybe there was one time where we had a pressure on that they ran a speed option or something, and we didn't have enough guys there. But it really came down to executing. It really came down to players. They did some different things, but you got to adapt to those things and play things on principle. And at times we didn't do that very well. And we weren't very aggressive. We didn't get off the field on third down, especially in the second half. We had opportunities to get off the field on third down and did not do it. 99-yard drive, we had several opportunities to get off the field. We had a 3rd and 19 and didn't get off the field. So those are plays that you have to make in a game. So that's something that we just need to continue to work on.
Coach, you talked about how Florida ran a lot of different things, but how did you see, what did you think of Drew Sanders being able to attack some of those plays?
Drew Sanders did okay in the game. I think we all could have done a little bit better job of playing the option. We focused a lot on quarterback runs. We focused some on the option. I think there were times in the game where we didn't play the option correctly. So therefore, as coaches, we're responsible for that. So we need to do a better job with all the players being able to do that, and I think have a better understanding of how to do that. So That's definitely something we need to work on this week. We'll see some of those same things this week.
I'm not trying to overreact here, but I just think all things considered, this gives the rest of the SEC hope that Alabama and the Crimson Tide can be beaten. And again, had Florida not gotten in that big hole, which we got to give Alabama all the credit in the world for being the machine they are and just starting that game out like gangbusters. But if not for that, I mean, it certainly seemed like Florida kind of figured them out there in the second half. So what did they put on tape that the rest of the SEC is going to utilize? Ole Miss got 2 weeks to focus on it. It's going to be fascinating to see.